You're trying to do everything right.
You bought the magnesium, you take it every night, but you're still lying awake with racing thoughts.
You're still getting those agonizing leg cramps that jolt you out of a deep sleep? And that constant feeling of tension in your jaw and shoulders just won't seem to melt away. Ever feel like you're doing everything right but getting it all wrong? You start to wonder if magnesium is just another overhyped supplement that doesn't work for you. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not working, and it is absolutely not your fault. The truth is, you've been led into a trap. It's a subtle three-step trap that millions of people fall into, rendering their expensive magnesium supplements almost completely useless. It's a trap designed by a system that prioritizes profit and simplicity over your actual health results. You are not failing the supplement. The supplement and the advice you've been given is failing you. But today, that ends. We are going to expose this trap step by step. And I'm going to give you the keys to finally unlock the profound benefits of magnesium that you were promised. After seeing thousands of well-intentioned people make the exact same errors with their supplements, I realized the problem wasn't a lack of effort. It was a lack of the right information, a lack of the complete picture. The advice out there is dangerously oversimplified, and it's setting you up for failure and frustration. That's why I created this video. By the end of this, you won't just know why your magnesium isn't working. You will have a personalized, step-by-step plan to fix it, tailored to your specific goals. We're going to dismantle the 3 core mistakes that form this trap. First, we'll expose the dose myth, and I'll show you why the number on the back of your bottle is practically useless for getting real results. Second, we'll dive into the form fallacy, the single biggest aha moment you'll have, where you'll discover if you're taking the right key for the wrong lock. And finally, we'll uncover the lone wolf error, the hidden reason why even the right dose of the right form can still fail, and what to do about it. This isn't just about avoiding mistakes. This is about transforming magnesium from a source of confusion into your most powerful tool for better sleep, a calmer mind, and a pain-free body. You've been stuck in the dark long enough. It's time to turn on the lights. Let's begin with the first piece of misinformation you've been fed, the dose. The first step of the trap is the one you see every time you pick up the bottle. It's that number on the back, the Recommended Daily Allowance, or RDA. Now, here's the contrarian truth you need to understand. The number on the back of your bottle isn't a recommendation for optimal health. It's a legal disclaimer designed to prevent a catastrophic deficiency. Let me say that again. It's about survival, not about thriving. The RDA for a nutrient was created with a very specific and now outdated goal in mind. It was designed to determine the minimum amount needed to prevent an acute deficiency disease, like the amount of vitamin C needed to prevent scurvy on a long sea voyage. But are you trying to just not get scurvy? Of course not. You are trying to sleep through the night, to calm your anxiety, to stop muscle cramps. Those are therapeutic goals, which require a therapeutic dose, not a survival dose. Following the RDA to fix your insomnia is like trying to fill a swimming pool with a single garden hose and turning it off after 10 minutes. You can't be surprised when the pool is still empty. Furthermore, these RDA values were often based on outdated population data from decades ago. They don't account for the modern stressors that actively deplete your magnesium stores. Every cup of coffee you drink, every stressful deadline you meet, every night of poor sleep you endure, all increase your body's demand for magnesium. The RDA assumes you are a perfectly healthy person with zero stress, which is a fantasy for most of us.
Studies looking at the therapeutic effects of magnesium for issues like migraines or anxiety often use doses far exceeding the RDA, sometimes in the range of 600 to 800 milligrams or more per day.
So, mistake number one is trusting the label blindly. It's taking a survival dose and expecting a therapeutic result. You have to shift your mindset from the minimum dose to your optimal dose. We'll talk about how to find that later in the video. But getting the dose right is only the first part of the puzzle. Because even if you take a higher dose, you could be falling into the second and arguably most critical part of the trap. This leads us to the form fallacy. Okay, so you're convinced you might need a higher dose. So you go to the pharmacy, you see dozens of bottles, and you pick the most common, most affordable one. Chances are you just bought a bottle of magnesium oxide, and you unknowingly wasted your money. Magnesium oxide is, by far, the most common form found on store shelves. It's also, by far, one of the least effective forms for correcting a deficiency inside your body's cells. Here's why. The bioavailability of magnesium oxide is astonishingly low, with some research suggesting that only around 4% of it is actually absorbed by your body. That means for every 400 milligram pill you take, your body might only get to use a measly 16 milligrams. The other 96% just sits in your intestines, attracting water, which is why magnesium oxide is a potent laxative. Taking magnesium oxide to fix your anxiety is like trying to water your delicate houseplants with a fire hydrant. Most of the water just makes a huge mess on the floor, and very little actually gets to the roots. So if oxide is the villain, who are the heroes? This is where we move beyond just avoiding mistakes and start personalizing your approach. There are several highly absorbable forms of magnesium, and the right one for you depends on your primary goal. Think of them as specialists. First, there is magnesium glycinate. This form is magnesium bound to the amino acid glycine, which itself has a calming effect on the nervous system. This makes it the absolute best choice if your main complaints are anxiety, stress, and poor sleep. Second, we have magnesium malate. This is magnesium bound to malic acid, which is a key component in your cell's energy production cycles. This makes malate the ideal choice for people dealing with fatigue, muscle pain, and fibromyalgia. It gives you the muscle-relaxing benefits of magnesium without making you drowsy. In fact, it can be slightly energizing. Finally, there's the specialist for the brain, magnesium threonate. This is the only form of magnesium that has been shown to effectively cross the blood-brain barrier. This makes it the top choice for cognitive benefits like improving memory, focus, and combating brain fog. So, which one are you? Are you looking for better sleep and calm? Go for glycinate. More physical energy and less pain? Malate is your friend. Sharper focus and a clearer mind? Threonate is your key. Choosing the right form is a massive leap forward. But what if I told you that you could be taking the right dose of the right form and it's still not working as well as it should? That brings us to the final and most overlooked mistake in the three-step trap, the lone wolf error. We have this tendency to think of nutrients as solo artists, but the reality is that your body is a complex orchestra. And in this orchestra, magnesium doesn't perform alone. This is the lone wolf error, taking magnesium by itself and expecting it to do all the work. The truth is, magnesium is a team captain, not a lone wolf. It relies on several other key players, known as cofactors, to get its job done effectively. Without its team on the field, even the best captain can't win the game. Let's meet the two most valuable players on Team Magnesium. First, we have vitamin B6. Think of vitamin B6 as the key that unlocks the cell door for magnesium. Research shows that B6 is crucial for transporting magnesium into your cells, where it actually does its work. You can swallow all the magnesium in the world, but if you're low on B6, much of it will never reach its destination. Taking magnesium without adequate B6 is like putting a key in a lock but never turning it. The second crucial player is vitamin D. Most people know vitamin D is important for bones, but it's also critical for magnesium regulation. Vitamin D helps stimulate the absorption of magnesium in your gut. It's a two-way street. Magnesium is also needed to activate vitamin D in the body. If you're supplementing one without ensuring you have enough of the other, you're fighting an uphill battle. There are other players too, like potassium and even boron, but B6 and vitamin D are the undisputed starters on the team. The lone wolf error also extends to timing. Remember how we said magnesium malate can be energizing? Taking that right before bed might not be the best idea for some people. Conversely, taking the calming magnesium glycinate first thing in the morning might leave you feeling a bit too relaxed for a productive day. Aligning the form with the time of day is another piece of this advanced strategy. So the third mistake is ignoring the team and the timing, assuming magnesium can do it all on its own. If you're finding these kinds of deep dives into how your body actually works helpful, consider subscribing so you don't miss our next investigation. We go beyond the headlines to give you the information you need to take real control of your health. So, at this point, you might be thinking, this is incredible information, but why have I never heard this before? Why doesn't my doctor or the label on the bottle tell me any of this? To understand that, we need to critique the very system you're relying on for health information. First, let's talk about testing. You might go to your doctor, they run a blood test, and it comes back normal. This is profoundly misleading because only about 1% of your body's magnesium is found in your blood. The other 99% is inside your cells and bones. Your body is so smart that if blood levels drop, it will pull magnesium out of your bones and cells to keep that blood level stable. So a normal blood test can be masking a severe cellular deficiency. You're not crazy for feeling symptoms when your tests are normal. The test itself is flawed for this purpose. Second, let's follow the money. Why is magnesium oxide, the least effective form, the most common one on shelves? Because it's incredibly cheap to produce and very compact, meaning companies can claim a high milligram count on the front of the bottle for a very low cost. They sell you the cheap, ineffective form because it has the highest profit margin, not because it provides the best results. The better forms, like glycinate and threonate, are bound to large amino acids, which makes them more expensive to produce and bulkier. It's an economic incentive that works directly against your health outcome. Finally, the system thrives on oversimplification. Explaining the nuances of dose, form, and cofactors is complicated. It's much easier for a label to say, take 1 pill a day, and for a busy doctor to say, your levels are normal. This system isn't designed for health optimization. It's designed for efficiency and legal compliance. So you haven't heard this because you're not supposed to. The system isn't built to give you this level of detailed, empowering knowledge. But now you have it. So how do we turn all this knowledge into action? Let's put it all together into a simple, clear plan I call the 3R Magnesium Protocol. It stands for right dose, right form, and right team. First, the right dose. Forget the RDA. A good starting point for most people is around 400 to 500 milligrams of elemental magnesium per day. From there, you can slowly increase the dose every few days until your symptoms improve. The upper limit is generally determined by bowel tolerance. If you start to get loose stools, you've found your upper limit and should back down slightly. Second, the right form. This is simple. If your goal is primarily sleep, calm, or reducing anxiety, choose magnesium glycinate and take it in the evening. If your goal is more about physical energy, muscle pain, or fatigue, choose magnesium malate and take it in the morning or early afternoon. If it's all about brain fog and focus, add in or choose magnesium threonate. Third, the right team. Ensure your magnesium isn't going in alone. Consider a good B-complex vitamin that includes P5P, the active form of B6, or ensure your diet is rich in B6 foods. And make sure your vitamin D levels are optimized, which for many people involves safe sun exposure or supplementation. Now, a crucial safety note. The mantra is start low, go slow. While magnesium is very safe for most people, if you have any kidney issues, heart conditions, or are on any medications, it is essential that you speak with your doctor or a knowledgeable pharmacist before starting any new supplement protocol, especially at higher doses. This is about being smart and taking ownership of your health, not being reckless. Let's just quickly recap the journey we've taken. You came here feeling frustrated, confused, and wondering why something so simple wasn't working for you. Now you know that it was never about one single mistake. You were caught in a trap of the wrong dose, the wrong form, and sending it into battle alone. You were trusting a survival dose to do a therapeutic job. You were likely using a cheap, poorly absorbed form that was causing more problems than it solved. And you were overlooking the crucial teammates magnesium needs to be effective inside your cells. But now you are no longer in the dark. You have the 3R protocol, the right dose, the right form for your goal, and the right team to support it. The goal isn't just to take magnesium, it's to give your body the right kind at the right dose with the right team. That is how you move from frustration to results. You are now in control of this crucial part of your health. You have the instruction manual that most people will never see. Use it wisely and prove to yourself what a difference the right approach can make. Thank you for investing this time in your health. If this breakdown was helpful, please hit that subscribe button and share your own experience with magnesium in the comments below. I read as many as I can.